What happens when a narcissist grows old? When the mirror no longer reflects adoration, when eyes no longer linger, when rooms no longer hush, when times begin to whisper truths they can no longer silence. There comes a moment, slow, quiet, almost imperceptible, when the mask begins to crack. Studies suggest that narcissism, like many personality traits, can mellow with age. Some research even dares to say they become more agreeable, that antagonism fades, that wisdom settles in like dust over chaos. But the truth, that's only half the story. The clinical perspective is clean, measured, controlled, but it's not what happens behind closed doors. Clinicians often miss the unseen, the performances, the manipulations. They see the persona, not the predator. Because narcissists don't just age. They adapt, they evolve to survive. They become more covert, not less dangerous. They grow more cunning. They learn how to avoid detection, how to act just agreeable enough, just empathetic enough, just vulnerable enough to throw you off the scent. But that same monster is still in there, watching, waiting, and when the supply runs low, when the audience thins, when the beauty fades, something unravels. Not into growth, not into empathy, but into something far more haunting. They don't grow wiser, they grow restless. The once effortless charm begins to feel forced. The supply doesn't hit the same anymore. The words they used to weaponize, now they fall flat, like stale air in an empty room. The body betrays them first, slower, softer. Their looks, once their shield and sword, begin to fade. And in the mirror, they no longer see power. They see time, loss, and shame. Not the kind of shame you or I feel, but a corrosive, unspoken shame. That they will never be who they pretended to be. The mask once wore them, now it barely fits. And so the performance changes. They stop chasing and start demanding. Entitlement sharpens. They become irritable, paranoid, cold. They don't court supply anymore. They expect it. And when they don't get it, they lash out. Subtly, quietly. Through sarcasm, guilt, humiliation. A silent war waged in sighs and sideways glances. Because the world no longer sees them as they demand to be seen. And that makes them dangerous. Clinicians say personality can shift, but with time people grow, that narcissists might become more self-aware. But here's the truth. Narcissists don't fear aging because they fear death. They fear insignificance. They don't want to reflect, they want to deflect. Change requires humility, it demands accountability. A narcissist would rather shatter every mirror in the house than face even 1 second of unfiltered truth. They'd rather burn it all down than admit the fire started in their own hands. So no, they don't outgrow the disorder, they grow around it. Like a twisted vine choking the light out of whatever love dares to get close. And when they can no longer win admiration, they settle for fear. When charm fails, control takes its place. You see, this isn't just one narcissist. This is a system, a lineage. They don't disappear, they multiply. Hidden in families, in corporations, on screens, in pulpits, in politics, behind friendly smiles and polished titles, each one quietly teaching the next how to manipulate, how to extract, how to survive without ever being seen. They don't stop when the mirror cracks. They don't stop when the charm fades. They pass the script on through coercion, through silence, through shame, because in their minds they are not flawed, they are special, they are entitled, and if they're not getting supply from admiration anymore, they will get it from your pain, from your confusion, from your need to be understood. They live for the game, and age doesn't end the game, it just changes the rules. The only difference now, they're tired, they're sloppy, and sometimes if you look closely enough, you'll catch a glimpse, a flash of the monster behind the mask. But even then, most people won't see it, because we're conditioned to look away, to believe the best, and so the victims are left in the wreckage, unheard, labelled as unstable, as dramatic, as the problem. And the narcissist, they simply move on, quietly, coldly, rewriting the story, while the truth rots in the silence they leave behind. When a narcissist starts to age, panic sets in. Not the kind of panic that screams, but the one that schemes. They look around at a life they once controlled, a long-term marriage, a family, a stable image, and they burn it all down. Not because anything is wrong, but because you know too much. You've seen them when the mask slipped. You've witnessed the rage, the gaslighting, the cruelty, and now they feel exposed. In their mind, your awareness is an act of betrayal. So they sabotage, they leave, not to heal, not to grow, but to chase the high, the novelty, the thrill, that new supply. They say, I just want to live my life. But what they really mean is, I want to be adored again. I want to feel powerful. I want to pretend I'm still 25, admired, irresistible. But their seduction has expired. Their charm is dulled. Their manipulation now wears the face of bitterness. So instead of seducing you, they start triggering you. You're not a source of admiration anymore. You're a mirror they want to smash. They'll mock, insult, provoke, because your pain is proof they still have power. And if they can't make you love them, they'll settle for making you suffer. This is their new supply. Rage, invalidation, control. No longer charming, just cruel. They may even become obsessed with younger people, trying to recapture what they've lost. Becoming pimps, sugar daddies, cougars, or just bitter aging puppeteers. Pulling strings on those too young to see the game. And if they can't lure the youth, they'll envy it. They'll attack your confidence, your body, your sense of self, because they want what you have, energy, hope, a future. And deep down they know they can't reclaim theirs, so they turn to children, not to nurture, but to extract. They use them for validation, turn them into emotional caretakers, groom them into mini versions of themselves. And this isn't just in the home. Look around. Is this not the blueprint of celebrity culture? The elites feeding off the insecurities of children, making them depressed, anxious, lost, all for power, all for supply. And we applaud it, we fund it, we imitate it. This is what aging narcissists do on every level. They don't disappear quietly. They embed themselves. They sabotage. They devour. And when the world no longer gives them praise, they take it by force. They become angry, dangerous, unstable. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll blame yourself for the wreckage they leave behind. So what happens when an aging narcissist runs out of supply? Chaos, confusion, a desperate grasp for control that too often ends with you paying the price. Protect your peace, see through the mask, and don't let age fool you. A narcissist doesn't soften with time, they just sharpen their weapons, and they hide them better. Thank you for watching. If this spoke to you, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Subscribe if you're ready to see through the mask and reclaim your truth. Coaching is available if you need support, and donations help keep these messages going for those who need them most. Until next time, stay grounded, stay aware, stay free.